How do you feel that that's helped you or hindered you in running your business?
In business in general, no matter what you're doing, it's
Kim McGinley,
hey.
welcome to Property People.
Thank you.
It's been a long time since the last time we spoke. It was only 2 days ago. We had lunch together. So It's great to see you here at the Property Entrepreneur Summit.
Yeah.
Just to kick things off, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Call it an elevator pitch.
Oh my God, put me under the spot. Okay, so I'm the Director of Vibe Finance. We've been going for around 6 years now, all purely working with investors all over the UK basically. I've come at this from a lending perspective, so I worked for 12 years for the specialist lenders, and yeah, it's been one hell of a ride.
Absolutely. And we're very much in the same space. We both own a finance brokerage.
Yeah.
We both come from a lending background as well.
Yes.
And you are an award-winning brokerage, I might add. So congratulations on that. You're obviously doing something very, very well.
Thank you.
In terms of providing a service to other investors as a brokerage, what is it that you get most excited about?
I genuinely, every case is so different. Every case, and that's what I love about it. I love all the grey areas. So when people talk about being a residential broker and it's very tick box, that's not me. And that's what I love about specialist finance. It's pushing boundaries.
It's very challenging because, like you say, every case is different. It's very bespoke. The market is so fragmented. There's so many different lenders. So you've got to literally get exactly the right one, especially if you want to get the lowest price and the highest LTV and everything perfect. If I was to ask you the opposite question and say, what is the thing that you like the least about doing this?
I think that's easy to say at the minute, and that is rates.
Right.
It's like you cannot be complacent. We're always on our toes. I mean, this week alone, my team are so stressed because you've had all the lenders hitting you with like deadlines, pulling rates, and it's that whole, I thought we'd come out of that. So to be back there again this week has been a bit of an eye-opener.
I mean, the last 18, 24 months with the Bank of England base rate going up month on month, and now it's still fluctuating and everyone's expecting drops. It's a little bit all over the shop. From your background, going from lending into being a broker, how do you feel that that's helped you or hindered you in running your business?
Helped me in a way that I saw all the good and the bad from working with brokers. Actually, I worked with some amazing brokers, so I will put that out there. And it's taught me how to not do certain things, and how as a lender to just be slick, be concise. And I think from that perspective, and also relationships has probably been our super strength because, as you know, it's such an incestuous industry that all the people that I used to work with are high up at other lenders now. And when you need an extra pull on a case, we know who to go to for that. So from that perspective as well, has been massive. So, yeah.
And has it been a hindrance in any way where you might think, oh, I'm going to be too soft on the lender because I also know what they go through and they can be... from my point of view, I do feel that sometimes I'm a little bit more empathetic because I'm thinking about what their process is as well. But I don't know, do you find yourself being too easy on them sometimes? Because I also want to throttle them sometimes as well.
You're right, you have to be empathetic, but I think as well, we're very mindful that we have to work with them time and time again.
Yeah, exactly.
And you never burn your bridges, so it's a difficult one to manage when things are going wrong and it's not the decision you want. You need to fight a client. You need to fight for your client's cases, right?
Absolutely.
But in a respectful way. Like I wouldn't go on LinkedIn or something and just call out a load of lenders. I mean, I see some brokers doing that.
I have done that in the past.
But do you know what? Equally, I know what drives them to get to that point.
Yeah. I was very selective. I did it on one that I knew that I would never work with again. They're relatively small.
That's different.
It was a bridging lender. It was a one-off case. The amount of noise it made on LinkedIn and everything.
Oh wow! I'm gonna have to. When was this? I have to scroll back through.
I will
tell me
after. Tell you after. I did it with I did it with regret in the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that I really wanted to get known for doing because you can't do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It was. I was quite
hard.
Yeah, it was necessary for me to just purge a little bit of the stress and frustration.
Yeah.
Because we do go through it a lot. I mean, I always feel like I'm in the ring with the clients, taking every punch with them.
Yeah.
And your LinkedIn profile is very honest. You put out something recently where you showed the highs and the lows, let's put it that way, that I talked to you about a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
How have you got comfortable with being so open about your journey?
I take it with a pinch of salt, and I treat it a little bit like my diary or my journal. So actually, I'm not really talking to anyone, and when I put it out, it's not for anyone, but it gives me a bit of a release. And I don't mind actually people seeing that side of me. I never have done. I'm quite an open book. And some people like that and some people don't. So, yeah.
And has it helped you with your business in terms of your profile, in terms of your marketing, in terms of lead generation, all that sort of stuff?
Do you know what? It's always the posts that you think, oh my God, this is a rubbish post. I'm just going to throw it out there because I need to put some content out there. And that post will do really good. And it's about something so not business related. And I've had clients go, oh, Kim, you look like a lot of fun. Can you do my buy-to-let for me? And I'm like, what? Yeah.
And more recently, actually, you've been an advocate for females in property, setting up some networking. Tell us a little bit about how that started and how that's going.
I grew up in this industry. I was like 19, 20 years old, and I've seen everything. I've been in the rooms where I'm the only female time and time again. Right. And don't get me wrong, there's amazing guys in what we do, right? But hearing other women's stories and knowing what holds them back, I want to be able to support that. And I think where I'm quite privileged in a way that I don't have anyone to answer to, I can put what I want on my socials. If I call out bad behaviour, but there's many women that don't have that voice, and if I can advocate for that, then so be it. I'd like to. I
think one of the keys to good social media presence is being authentic.
Yes.
And the fact that you show the highs and the lows, and that you're quite open about it. And I was just talking to Susanna Cole earlier that, you know, sometimes you might not come out with it straight away in that moment that I'm like having a hard time, or that I've just celebrated something. But you reflect and you might do it a little bit later date.
Yeah.
I mean, you told me that you've been doing a property project as well, and it hasn't gone to plan in that way.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that we're in this room filled with 400 people.
Yeah.
They also go through the same things, and they want to be able to relate to people that they watch and follow.
Yeah, and I think in business in general, no matter what you're doing, it's all smoke and mirrors on socials, right? We spoke about this the other day. There's so much of crap that goes on behind the scenes and that people never see. And that's, again, I hate it if people put me on a pedestal and they're like, Kim, you're smashing it, you're doing amazing. I'm like, whoa, like I'm nowhere near where I want to be, first of all. And it's actually really hard sometimes. Do you know what I mean? So I always want to remind people of that as well. Yeah.
And over the past 12 months, you in terms of challenges, you mentioned the volatility and the interest rate.
Yeah.
What's the biggest win that you've had in the last 12 months?
I wrote my biggest deal, which was really, really nice, because we spoke the other day, and I call it my unicorn deal because they don't come along very often. And when they finally go over the line, I'm like, yes.
Do you mind sharing the size of it?
It was a large project in Crawley, and it was about combined with other properties that we were doing, about 3.5 million. So it wasn't like anything but actually the income for myself was lovely. So
Good. You know what? At the end of the day, I think everybody's trying to strive for personal best.
Yeah.
A little, 1% better than I was yesterday. All that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's great. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
And in terms of the speakers here today.
Yes.
A great lineup.
Yes.
Who are you looking forward to seeing most?
Do you know? For me, I'm looking forward to the social media bit later on.
Yeah, the marketing.
I'm looking forward to a lot of this, by the way. Only because TikTok, I've never got used to. I can't get my head around TikTok. I've dabbled, and Aaron is really, really good on TikTok, and they've got some really good speakers. So actually, whilst I'm on socials a lot, there's always more to learn. And it's free marketing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm all about that. So
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do this proper long form sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
But it's great to see you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
And we'll catch up soon.
Thanks for having me.